Sometimes I'm just stupid. Oh man. Yeah. I was trying to record and tell me the card was full, but there was no card in the camera, so I don't know why it said that. Yeah. So 2 days ago, I put something up. A couple of days ago, put something up. It was overmodulated. A video after that, it got cut off. So let's see if I can make no mistakes. Tower of Power, the freedom to make art. That's what it's about, right? I was going to have a beer this morning because my studio mate had beer and he didn't. I guess he forgot about it. And I go through his stuff and it's non-alcoholic. It's Blue Moon non-alcoholic. I didn't even know they made a non-alcoholic. So what's the point, man? Damn. So I'm like all excited because he has a case of non-alcoholic beer. Terrific. How's my hair? Yeah, weird day. Foggy. It's clearing up. It's clearing up. So yeah, I mean, I told you like I don't try to pregame. My hair is all over the place, man. Yeah, I feel sorry for bald guys. I don't have a bald gene in my body. In fact, I grow more hair. Do you remember my head was shaved 2 months ago completely? Now it's grown old. I got it growing out of my nose. I got it growing everywhere. Yeah, it sucks to be bald. Screw you. I might not have a lot of things in life, man, but at least I don't look like a cue ball chicken. I feel bad for guys. But that's life. You could have all the money in the world. Well, I guess you can buy hair, but man, it ain't the same. Yeah, because what do? They take the hair from your anal glands and they glue it on your head. That's weird. As I was thinking about yesterday, I was thinking about art, really, street art particularly, and I do actually a lot of street art. I don't advertise, and you have no idea who I am. If you see something good in New York City, that's me. Just remember that. And I was thinking about why, and it really comes down to power. I kind of realized that it's all about power. Crime is power. I guess that's really what it's about. To speak out of turn, to put something when you don't have permission, like you don't have permission to speak, you don't have permission to really do this or do that. I don't have a lot of power in my own life. And it feels like power is over people, power over money, power over this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, when I do it, I feel a lot better. And I realize it's because it's the only time I feel in life that I'm empowered. For a few minutes, I feel that I have control in this world. I feel like I have said something and no one was ready for it, and no one either cared for it, but now people see it and now they'll listen because I said something. So and it's 1% of 1% of 1% of 1% of my life and time. The rest of the time, I don't have any control. At least I don't feel it. Maybe what I choose to eat or something like that. But other than that, that's not really anything. Bills, people coming after you, people talking crap about you. It's always something. And I realized, and I feel like that's the genesis of how this whole thing even started with art in the city, and New York City being the progenitor of really that scene. And why? And the kids in the Bronx and Brooklyn and Queens who were poor, who didn't have any means, no one listened to them. But when they started painting on subway cars, they started painting everything, people began to listen. They gave themselves a voice because no one gave them one. And I guess the brilliance of like painting a train car at the time is that message of whatever they wrote went through all the city. Now, they weren't crying about stuff. They weren't asking, please give us food and money. They just were like, don't forget about us. We're here too. And as those trains weaved throughout the city, it went through the poor neighborhoods and the rich ones as well, where everyone could see their name and have an identity and have a voice in a place where, that they were just forgotten and abandoned by this city. And that's pretty much a global thing. I could see why, people are individuals and they need to express themselves. Not everyone feels the need. Some people do. And that's how the genesis of this whole thing started, was a state of like, I'm here. The whole, like, when you scream out to the universe, I exist. And it was one of the few times that I feel like I exist. Because obviously, whatever. I mean, I could change my look. I could put on a suit. I could look better. I could not look as tired, or, maybe not drink so much or whatever. Maybe get noticed, wear a suit, get a better haircut than this. That's for sure. I'm just letting it grow because why not? But, I see that then, but then there's that moment. But that's all very social. That's all kind of like, I'm very much a thing, very much conventional. And the more, like, and the conventional stuff doesn't do it for me anymore. A haircut doesn't feel as good as scrawling my name somewhere, or putting up a piece of art. And that's it. And then the more I do it, the world keeps falling further and further away. I keep seeking that power. And I'm only going to seek that power. It's the only time I have joy is when there's a little bit of power. Rest of the time, it's just like you hang out with people, you talk to women, you talk to whoever, you talk to other artists, and it's almost like I'm waiting for it to be over so I can get to my next thing. Any job, any commission, anything. You're just trying to get through stuff. And every day is just trying to get through things to get to the thing that you want to do. And that's all it is. It's just a struggle. That's the struggle. And then I pick like one weekend, I did it on a Sunday, because Sunday was a better day than Saturday and Monday. And, and then I felt so much relief. And I feel like it's almost like just taking a giant dump. I know that's not a good way to equate to, but yeah, you just feel like you got over a cold, or just, or diarrhea. It's not particularly romantic, but at least there's that feeling of release. And you're just like, and then and what did I do this morning? But then Monday I was completely, the rain, and then I got depressed. I got depressed immediately. And so, I had a couple of drinks and then went to bed. I woke up early this morning and then went to the Home Depot, went to Blick, went to the studio to do it all over again and plan the next thing, and then the next thing and the next thing, because if that's the only time that I feel good, then that's where I'm going to go, because everything else is just, I really feel like I have no control. Sure, I'd like to be a smart investor. Sure, I would like to get lucky with the lottery. Sure, I would like to get just lucky in general. And it's just like, I can't rely on it, and there's no control. It's in the end, it's just the life. It just keeps going and doing whatever it wants to do, and they just want you along for the ride. They want you to just shut up and just pull the weight of society. And I'm not in the mood for it, 99.99% of the time. But this action, that and basically no one asked me to do it. I don't have anyone's permission. Probably a lot of people don't even like it, and I know it gets destroyed pretty soon. So I'm spending my own time, money, and energy to have something that's just going to be just completely wrecked. But I need to make that mark, and I need to make that stamp, because it's the only moment, the only few moments in my life that actually feels something. I don't feel it when I'm watching TV. I don't feel it with my friends. Don't feel it even. I have to drink a tremendous amount to even feel like anything remotely even like pleasurable. But that one moment that I can just stamp my piece or something, and I know it's going to get noticed, and I don't Instagram it. I take my pictures of it, and all it goes into my own little private archive. I don't beat it over anyone's head. I don't brag about it. But that's the only golden moment at this point. And life is in the way, and I just have to, it's like going through like a swamp of bugs and snakes and who knows what, just to get to that one shiny moment. And then just like, yes, I did it. And then you're just right back into the swamp. And that's all one can do. And that's all I seek sometimes. I guess most of the time. But just getting in like my head, trying to put that into words of like why. And I guess as I get older, I'm going to want more of that I'm not going to want more bills. I'm not going to more friends. I don't know. What are they going to do for me? But yeah, more money would be fantastic though. But yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay.